When I was given my brief, I decided to choose film over the more popular option of a music promo, as I believed I already had knowledge of trailers due to my love of film. To match with the industry, I split my working process up, so I researched, planned, and then constructed in order for my trailer to have suitable work behind it to make it a success. I then split these categories up into subcategories so that I could delve deeper into the subject, making it more like a real media project. I then looked at choosing the genre of my film trailer. I first looked at comedies, however, I saw that I would never be able to create a comedy trailer which was anywhere near to industry standards, as I did not have access to big name actors which comedies rely on to draw audiences in. Nor would I have access to amazingly well written scripts, which is the main feature of a well worked out comedy. I then looked at musicals, as this is one of my favourite film genres. However, yet again, I saw that I would not be able to make something of high standards, as musicals are known for huge casts with large dance numbers, which I would not be able to choreograph, nor would I be able to get together a large amount of people who could dance well enough to be featured. I then looked at action films, but I saw yet again that I would not be able to recreate the huge stunts. I then finally looked at horror films and saw that they often focus on one or two actors, such as Carrie, where the trailer focused on them. Films like Insidious and The Conjuring also show me that they are normally centered around a few locations. Both of these features of horror films would be achievable for me. I also saw there would be room for me to add visual effects, like the ones in Unfriended, which interested me greatly, so I decided to follow this route. The purpose of a horror trailer is to put across a vague feeling for the film without including any of the main events, whilst conveying the feeling of fear and suspense. I then looked at Todd Roth's narrative theory, which is used by filmmakers within the industry. The theory states that a good film should be structured so that it starts with the calm, the equilibrium, then move on to the problem, then the attempt at a repair, then the equilibrium should return. For trailers, they should focus on the equilibrium at the beginning and the problem, so the audience want to watch the film to see how they restored the equilibrium. I wanted to create a very clear split between the equilibrium and disruption, which I had seen in trailers like Jezebel, where the colours change and the split is very clear. I colour corrected my trailer so that the difference in colours is very clear. After that, I looked at locations. I have filmed much of my trailer in locations in London, such as the South Bank, as I wanted my trailer to be tethered to an actual place to make the threat more realistic, as if it's in a location the viewer knows about, it could actually happen. A famous location is also used in films like Rosemary's Baby. The other location I used was a dirty carpenter's workshop. I used this to match the kidnapping atmosphere that is put across by Saw. The dirty, unused building creates fear within the audience as it is out of the ordinary, and the filth like that is unsightly to a normal person. I used Premiere Pro to create my video, as this is the same software they use to make real media projects. I believed by using this and Adobe After Effects, I had the best chance of making it as professional as possible, as I was mirroring the industry. I also used Adobe Photoshop to make my poster, which is yet again used for real media products. Within my research, I looked at directors who are known for the horror genre. I focused on Hitchcock and James Wan. James Wan is known for a quick editing pace and quick, sharp shots to build the atmosphere. I tried to mirror this. One of his latest films, Lights Out, uses a similar effect to what I have used for my ending section to build tension. Hitchcock developed a theory of hands and feet within his work. He thought that highlighting the hands showed actions as if your hands you do or don't take action in different situations. Feet show stability, as if someone is stood well, then you can see they are safe, but whereas if their feet are up in the air or lying on one top of each other, this is out of the ordinary and it shows instability. This is why I included the close-up of the handshake, as it is a pivotal moment of the two characters meeting, and the story changes from this point. The famous shower scene from Psycho includes close-ups of the hands and the feet. My main challenges to convention are the fact that I have decided to not include any sound. Any speech. I have included music. I found that I would not be able to create any good quality sound, as I lack sufficient equipment, which prevent excess noise, and also my actors are not trained professionals, so I find it difficult to an industry standard, so I decided to break convention. However, I feel that my lack of sound has not had too much of a negative effect, as the lack of sound reflects the plot where the Illuminati are trying to silence the protagonist. The trailer for the film Hush includes no sound, as the sound story is about a deaf mute, so the lack of sound is appropriate, just how it is in my own video. Another convention of horror trailers is the inclusion of a jump scare. However, I have decided not to include one. I found it hard to find an appropriate one within the context of my film, so instead of a jump scare, I decided to use quick editing and music to build the anticipation and fear factor. The starting of a trailer sets the scene for the rest of the trailer and the film. Often the convention is to have a time lapse to establish a location or to start with the production company to establish that it's a worthwhile film to see. I have decided to start with a visual effect of a television screen turning on to establish that a film has a large link to technology. Films such as Unfriended and Fear.com, who also have a strong link to technology, have also done this. I've made much of my footage look like CCTV footage to increase the feeling of being watched. The feeling of being watched is a convention which can be found in most horror trailers. Often, noise in the background or someone looking over their shoulder is used to build the feeling of being watched. However, because my film's main villain is a corporation instead of a singular being, the use of CCTV is more appropriate. Films such as The Purge, where the government have created the problem, also use CCTV-like footage to show a general feeling of Big Brother watching. There are very few conventions of production companies' logos, apart from the production company name being involved and them linking somewhat with the film, as every production company logo is meant to be unique. I have incorporated the name, but also taking inspiration from the Unfriended Universal logo, I have created a glitch effect to link it to my film. Titles are important in any trailer to help put across a synopsis in a short period of time without giving too much away. For my titles, I have followed the convention of having them build up, as well as the convention of a slight animation running alongside them to make them match the trailer. The Forest trailer had the text size gradually getting bigger to build the tension. I have created this, but on a smaller scale. The girl's dragon tattoo had ink swirls in the background to link with the imagery of the tattoo. To match the technology in my trailer, I used code constantly moving in the background to create the link between the titles and the rest of the film. For my backing track, I followed convention and I used music that started slower and then built. It had piano and a strings instrument in it. Violins are well known for being part of a horror trailers, and because of this, I thought it was suitable to incorporate some kind of strings instrument. For the second half of my trailer, I have used artificial sound, which almost sounds inhuman, to frighten the audience. The use of the unnatural was a common convention of horror trailers, as what is not accepted norm frightens the audience. I asked my two actors to act very differently according to convention for any hunter and the hunted. I asked my main character Jess to be paranoid and on the edge as if there's something always around the corner, while I asked the antagonist, Holly, to walk proudly and with confidence as if she's in a position of power. I wanted to create the conventional prey and predator relationship where one is nervous while the other one is self-assured. After I finished putting together my trailer, I began to colour correct, as within the industry, after creating a piece, they edit the colours so there is a house style. I lowered the saturation and added more darkness to the videos to create a constant gloomy feel as they do in real horror trailers. After looking at real posters, I saw many of the conventions and I tried to incorporate them in my own. Conventions I found were having 3 lead actors along the top of the page, having the film name and the tagline in the bottom middle of the page in the same font, having the release date in a different colour, having a black background, having one main image on the centre of the page, featuring the production company logo, having small print of all those involved in the film at the bottom. I have tried to incorporate all of these key conventions into my poster to make it successful. I looked at posters such as the 10 Cloverfield Lane poster and Unfriended and Fear.com to look at what posters have been made in the past to try and incorporate a style into my own. The Omen is another poster I looked at. For my website, I decided to use Wix to make it instead of Dreamweaver, as I knew this would create a more professional website. I looked at the 10 Cloverfield Lane website and I saw that they used the poster as the background for the home page. And because of this, I knew that a strong link would need to be established between my poster and website. Instead of using the poster, I decided to use the main image of the Illuminati symbol that is on the poster on the homepage of my website to draw the link. I also looked at the Paranormal Activity website and I used the similar page titles for that, such as gallery and backstory, so I could give some idea of my film to my audience. And just as Paranormal Activity and other successful film websites, I used a Facebook link to get more exposure. Many film websites, such as Jezebel and Blair Witch Project, have something that comes up onto the screen when you first open it. I decided to do this with the Illuminati symbol to draw read watchers in. I believe my media products work well together as they follow convention and have links between them. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed my question 1.